Okay then. So we are live. And we are at the River Duggy in Wigan, and we're going to drive to Carnforth. So we're starting off near what used to be called Soccer Dome. Don't know what it's called now. Nice and easy. Basically driving from a tier 3 to a tier 3. I've been waiting for them to match up so I could do this, so I can drop some stuff up from an old job I had. Those of you who know me will know I quit a job a few weeks ago, but I've not been able to drop the few bits off that I still had. So that's what we're doing today. It's not very exciting, I know, but it needs to be done. So one is doing it, so to speak. So we are starting off on the road coming away from the DW. So the big set of traffic lights where the flood usually is. We normally come in from the left or the right to go straight across. So this time we're coming in from the middle, turning right. I'm going to go through Standish. I don't think they're going to go anywhere then, I'll be honest. So I'm going to go through Standish and jump on the M6 at Standish. And then we will be on the M6 all the way to junction 35 at Carnforth. So, moderately exciting. I say moderately exciting, it's not even remotely exciting, but you know. Let's just pretend, you know, it is, even though it's not. You know it and all that. You know, going over the canal. River Duggy is quite high. It's been raining a bit recently. Some of the rain was quite heavy. So another late indication there, but they've gone. Gives me a free run now up Beach Hill. I could have gone left, to be fair, to go on the motorway, because the Beach Hill road takes you round. Not the Beach Hill road, that road takes you round to the same junction. It's just incredibly bendy and I can't be arsed with a bendy road. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here, up Beach Hill, and then at the roundabout at the top, Cherry Tree, I'm going to turn left. Normally I turn right, but I'm going to be turning left today. So past the shops at Beach Hill, up the hill. I thought about pulling in. Decided against it, which was wise because I was on my way. So the lights ahead have changed to red, which is fine because by the time I get there, they should be on green. Wow, to be fair, there's a hell of a lot of cars coming round. I'll give it that one. Alright. I had one of them Aston Martin Fords behind me before. Is it the Mondeo? Looks like it's trying to look like an Aston Martin. Rattling up, but he's just turned off. They've just turned off left with the lights, so nothing really behind me at the moment. That's the speed camera again on the hill going up. So as we think about Wigan, so if you do get caught on a speed camera, at least 4 times out of 10 you deserve to get caught. Quick reminder, we are in tier 3 at the moment, which currently is the highest tier. And then we'll be in possibly tier 4, tier 4, but more about that on my weekly vlog. So a little roundabout here. We'll go past this and we come to the cherry tree roundabout. And that'll be the one where we have to... Well, we don't have to, but we are going to go left this time. Go towards Standish. Because... nothing coming from behind me. Nothing coming from left either, so we'll go through here. So this is pretty new territory. I don't drive up here very often. The nice colours of the trees again, autumnal. Although I've noticed a lot of trees, all the leaves have completely gone now. Because they've been in some kind of wind tunnel-y type effect. I've got a little car coming up behind me at a bazillion miles an hour, but we can't do anything because there's a row of cars in front of us. Again, lovely trees. See a lot more leaves on the ground now. As my mother famously once said, I do love autumn. I love it when the trees fall off the leaves. She hadn't quite got the idea of gravity, I don't think, at the time. So another little roundabout with a petrol station on it. Right, car in front is going left. We are going, no, going right. We are going left. Oh, we got an ambulance or something going on here. Car behind me, it's literally driving up my number plate. Can't go anywhere, there's a car in front. I'm doing 30 anyway, and it's the 30 speed limit. Again though, the trees absolutely gorgeous this time of year as we head up into Standish, which is often thought of as being one of the posh areas of Wigan. I mean, it's not all posh, but like this area, this part here with all the big houses is posh, and there's lots of newest estates as well that are quite posh. So big trees as well kind of give it that element of poshness. These trees are massive. You kind of wonder what when these houses were first built, because a lot of these will be Victorian, some will be probably a little bit older than that. You know, when these houses were built, what was the what did it look like if you walked up there? Were the trees just little tiny little things, or were they already there? Because I think some of them trees must be over 100 years old to be that size. But when I've been driving on the motorway sometimes, I find that there are areas where I used to be able to see lots of landscape, but I can't now because the trees have kind of grown. Oh, definitely building work going on there. retirement living. Yeah, I hope they finish it by the time I'm ready to retire. Car behind me's just turned off right there. Did drop back eventually. Right, so this is Standish. They don't like the fact they've got an Aldi. Wouldn't mind, but they've also got a Lidl as well. Doesn't go down well with the locals. But again, these nice trees. Here is a shop on the left that sells guns, as you do. So we're now heading towards the motorway. So we're going to go on the M6 northbound. I think we're coming on at junction 27. Don't quote me on that though. And we will be driving to junction 35. Lots of things to see on the way there, like cars and lorries and road markings and things like that. So very, very exciting. Clocks have gone back as well, which means it now goes darker earlier. I don't know what that's flashing for, we're all doing 30. So we'll now go dark around about 5 o'clock instead of around about 6 o'clock. Come down to the bottom. Used to be a nightclub down here called, I think it was Henry Africa's. Something like that. Never went, obviously, because I don't do nightclubs or pubs or anything, never have. Anyway, it got demolished and they built that thing there instead, which is still open because it sells substantial food. It's got quite a few cars in it as well, to be fair. Right, so we're going to turn right here. This is a flyover bridge that literally flies over nothing, just a bit of grass. It's like they were going to build a road there, but they never got around to it. Right, so we're now in Shevington. We drive down towards the motorway. Look, there's some behind us. 40 here, we're going to turn right onto the motorway. So junction 27, yeah, it is junction 27. I thought it was, because the junction I normally come off for my house is junction 26, and this is the next one up. And I know we're going up because I'm coming off at 35. So, there you go. Before Porsche, who knew? Not Porsche, obviously. So here we go now, we're on the M6. We are 60 mile an hour. There's a few cars on here, but not many. We're actually travelling now from Greater Manchester to Lancashire, but both of them are in tier 3, and why the reason I'm travelling from one area to another is because it's work related, so otherwise obviously I wouldn't be doing it. So it's one off. It's 70 now. Citroen's doing just a little bit under 70. Also being caught up as well. So there is 70. Oh, that's why that vehicle's there. They're going to repair that barrier later on by the looks of things. So we've got some blues and twos coming the opposite direction. So to get past this lorry, I will pull over. So doing 70. We are now in the third lane. Now in theory, we could travel all the way up here in this lane. Although lanes do get added. At one point this will be the third middle lane of 5 lanes. But that's the Blackpool turn off. We're not near there at the moment. Past services. That's the first one of 2 that will pass. It was Charnock. No, it wasn't Charnock Richard. Idiot. The next one's Charnock Richard, and that's the one with the really cool tower on it. So it's 16:57, and it's 9.5 degrees on the 25th of the 10th, 2020. It's 13:57, isn't it? Because my clock's not changed. Just turn my radio on and then go to radio 1 and turn it down a bit, and then in a minute or 2 it'll change the clock for me. And then we'll do a time check. I was thinking it's bright for 5 o'clock. Idiot. So it's 10 degrees as well now, it's gone warmer. Right, I'm getting on the car in front, but I'm also being gained upon by cars behind me, and there's 2 side by side. So as this, well, there's one of them. So as this one passes, so we've slowed down to about 65 here. Pull out. Past, he wants to get past. And the Range Rover. So we will take the Ford. I've got a towing vehicle ahead. It's towing well, it's not, it's a transit van. Talking of vans, I've got one rattling up behind me, but he's pulling into the 3rd lane. Off he goes. So to get past this van, I can pull back into the 1st lane. Got the place coming up where you can buy trucks as well. So if you want a truck, this is the place to come. Also a bit patchwork repairs on this motorway. You can see it now because of the lighting, but kind of repaired it in patchworks rather than replacing the whole thing. It kind of makes sense. Anyway, we're coming to the Leyland turn off now, which is junction 28. Famous for making vans. That's right, transit vans. No, I'm joking. British Leyland vans, obviously. No. Wow, talking of fast, I'm doing 70. That Land Rover's on 1, but he's been overtaken by someone else as well. It's like a Golf, who's now braking. Oh, because there's flashing lights here. It's on the RAC. And a camper van. Oh, well, it's not a camper van, but they're obviously being escorted off very slowly. I suppose you've got flashing lights in an RAC van, that's illegal, but if I did that on my own and the police went past, they pulled me over. So we've got Morrison Spencer's lorry ahead. You can see why they need to repair this road. So the Range Rover Pass, which we've done. Get past the streamlined M&S. I don't know whether it actually makes any difference, that streamline. Might make it go around corners faster. There's a car coming up there, so we'll pull out. Nothing behind me. Nothing room to come out, which they've done. So we can now go back in again. Right, so we're coming up now to the junction, which is the newest junction for the M65. This is junction 29. Okay, not really got much behind me, apart from this one car. I'm doing 70. This car has been in the third lane for ages, the Mercedes. Doing a bit more than 70. Right, this junction here is the new M65 motorway. It's basically, well, if you go to the junction on the left, go around the roundabout, that's where the motorway starts, and then it takes you all the way up to, well, the Pennines, really. It's quite a nice drive motorway as well. I'll probably do one of them one day. We're now in Lancashire. There was no signage telling us we were. So we're now coming up towards Preston. In junction 29, we already passed it, yeah. It used to be back there with the second roundabout. I'm slow down to 60 here. Nothing behind me. And they widened it so that they could get their motorway in. So they took it about half a mile away from us and then brought it forward again. So we're on our way to Carnforth. So this is the bit now where we get the M61 joining us. Again, pretty short motorway, the M61. Know the other end of the M61 because I do that a lot. It's where it joins the M60, but I rejoin the M60 as well. And this is the other end on the M6. This is where we go to 4 lanes, so we get to the M55, which is another pretty short motorway as well, and that one takes you to Blackpool. So there's quite a few short motorways in a very short space. I mean, if you think about it, the M58 at junction 26 of the M6 is pretty short as well, because that goes from junction 26 of the M6 to just outside Aintree in Liverpool. So that's quite a short motorway as well. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking he's going to do short motorway playlist, isn't he? Because that's exactly what I'm thinking. I could probably do all of them in one day. Liverpool's in code 3 as well. There's something wrong with my car then. It was White Racer I've just passed. This must be his mate. No, some older guy. Doing about 65 at the minute. They rebuilt that bridge I just went under as well. For a time, it was one of them bridges that the army use. A bit rickety with the metal signs on it, zigzaggy, which always amused me. But again, that's because they made this into an 8-lane motorway. This is the Tickle Routes, named after the pub stroke hotel, which you won't be able to see, but it's far left. And it's right next to the river. If you turn left, you go to Preston. At the roundabout, you turn right, you end up in Blackburn. But most people will go up the M56 6, was it? I can't remember now. Talking about that many different motorways. So we are going across the river now, and we're now heading up. And it's going to stay 4 lanes now, because we're heading up to the M55. So we've got the M55 coming up. Oh, the clock's changed now. It's now saying it's 16:06, 10 degrees. Why did you indicate? And then, oh, because the car in front's going really slowly. Okay, I'll let you off. I brought down once here and ended up kind of freewheeling off this new junction up here. And thankfully, not literally, but bumped into a mate who was a mechanic, and he ended up fixing my car. After a few months I paid him for doing it. So this is the Preston Longridge, and this is 31A. The A is because it was a junction that was added to the motorway. There didn't used to be a junction here, but when they widened it to 4 lanes for some reason, they put it on. But a bit like the one at Ashton in Makerfield and the one at Wigan, you can only come off this direction. You can't come on here, go in this direction, and on the other side you can only come on, go in the opposite direction, and you can't go off in the opposite direction. So it's always struck me as a weird junction. So we're heading now towards the M55. Got a couple of vehicles overtaking me. That one there nearly ploughed into this one here, because this one here was pulling out to overtake me, and the one in front decided to pull into the second lane. So that's why there's a big gap between the two of them, because the van had to slow down quite considerably. And I'm still doing 70, so. But this lane now is going to go to Blackpool. We're not going to Blackpool, so we're going to pull out of this lane. We've got a red car coming up, and this red car is going to undertake me. No, he's not. He's coming out. Go around me. Okay, he could have undertook me if he's going off here, so he's going to pull out and then pull across. See what he does. He's still in this lane. He's still here. No, he's going. Yep, he's gone across. But he could have done that without overtaking me or anything. Just done it on the underside because it's a separate motorway. So he's not got anywhere he wouldn't have got otherwise, other than it's funnily enough another vehicle. That red vehicle's braking because of the other vehicle. Don't know, half an hour. What I mean. Anyway, this used to be 2 lanes both ways, but they widened it a while ago, so it's now 3 lanes both ways. Slip road coming on, and it will now stay 3 lanes all the way, pretty much I think, up to the end of the motorway, which is up near Carlisle and beyond. So Lancaster is 18, Kendal is 39, and 83 for Carlisle. I suppose I need to drive the whole length of the M6 at some point, don't I? Where it merges into the M1. That's going to take a lot of petrol, because it's over 100 miles north. From here. I do like this run. I was on about the trees before, them on the right, you know, they've grown a lot while I've been driving up down this motorway. There's also a nice church along here as well, on the left, there where you can just see the spire. And when it's summertime, you just about see the spire. But when it's winter, you can see through the trees. You can see this lovely little quaint church. It's like a chocolate box type of church. I'm pulling out here. What are you braked for? Yeah, one thing I don't like about this bit of motorway is the fact it's got these weird dips in it that you kind of jump in. You'll hear them rather than see them. And look, the sun dappling through the fence, which is really quite annoying, to be honest. I'm not going to see a huge amount out of my left eye because the sun's shining directly into it, but now it's dappling through the fence. It's making it even more difficult. Oh, it's gone behind a hill now, we're alright for a minute or two. So I overtake this VW. To be fair, it's not really Golf, so it'll overtake me. There you go. I'm being overtaken by a family. And then people carry it. Now the far right, there's that giraffe on top of there, it is. There's a giraffe on top of that. Okay. It's not a real giraffe. That'd be cruel. Giraffes are tall enough without putting them on top of something. Frighten them. We're also running parallel with the Great North Western Railway line. Oh, there's a train, ironically, I know you can see it now. There's a train down there. On the left. Again, I don't know if you could see that or not. But I was just going to say, it's funny to see how fast the trains go, because that was moving like I'm not moving, and I'm doing 70 miles an hour. But when I first used to go up here, which was 20 odd years ago, the trains were going about the same speed as me, so we'd actually be going, the same speed. But obviously the trains have got a lot faster over the years, and plus if they put in the I'll be long dead by the time they put the high-speed rail link up here, then you wouldn't have a chance in a car. I assume there's still cars around then. I've also brought down here as well on the way up here, where this works. Whole unit is pulled in here. Put some oil in the engine, just here on the left. Put some oil in the engine. The car got going again, and it was great. My way for letting me past. Little white car then pulled out so I could overtake these cars. Oh, that's one of them jumps I was on about. This place on the left's interesting. It used to be a caravan centre, and it says dairy on it as well, so I used to assume it used to be dairy, but now it's kind of little mini offices. And at night time they've got blue lights on the side of them. I've also seen a few crashes on this corner as well. The most famous one is on the far right, this next bridge. If you look on the far right, you notice it's got like a girders thing holding the bridge up. That's because a couple of years ago a lorry crashed into that and basically took the bridge out. But they saved it and they put it up, but they've never repaired it. So it's just got the temporary scaffolding up. It's holding the bridge up. That's been there that long now. It's gone rusty. So yeah, now we're right up into Lancashire. You can't go too much further north because that's Cumbria. Cumbria's not in tier 3, and you can't go from a tier 3 to a lower tier. But thankfully Carnforth is literally the top of Lancashire, so I can do it. Well, this is going to be interesting because I've got cars coming up behind me. I'm going to let one through and then I'm going to get through. So we can let the Land Rover, Range Rover thing through. It was barrelling up before. I'm still doing 70. I think that church is on the left here as well. You may not see it. Or maybe a little bit further up. I can't remember, I'll be honest. I think it's a little bit further up. Oh, there it is in the distance. You can see the spire. It's a really, really nice church. You know I'm an atheist and all that, but I do like churches and the architecture in them and everything. And I will visit that one day. I mean, could I class my YouTube channel as work? Look, I say I'm doing my exercise, I suppose. So I've got away with it before. So we're going now towards Preston. No, we're not. We're going towards Lancaster and Morecambe. This lorry's overtaking. Been flashing him to go. Because that's faster than me, I'll be honest with you. That sounds a bit rattly, doesn't it? I was overtaking a caravan. Can you go on holiday in a caravan? They might be going home, I don't know, but is that still allowed? Tier 3? Just got over the River Wye, apparently. It is a lovely area of the country up here, and I've neglected it on purpose for my Let's Explore, Let's Visit videos. There's been a couple of exceptions, Sawley, which was absolutely gorgeous, but there's going to be a hell of a lot more Let's Explorers up here, because I just love this part of the country so much, including that tower, which I think is amazing. It's like a airport control tower, which I think is what it was meant to be. It was meant to be sci-fi and spaceshipy, and apparently at the top bit there was a restaurant up there when it first opened in the 60s, and you got what they call silver service, which is where the waitresses bring your food to you on a plate, and then they'll bring like all the carrots and the potatoes and whatever, and in a big bowl, and then they'll put them on your plate in front of you, and then go around to the next person and do it that way. So it's very, very posh. But it is a gorgeous part of the world. I'm so lucky to live in the northwest, because it is such a nice place. You know, Dolphin Home is lovely, and there's lots of ruins and things. Like I say, I purposely avoided them because I'm a firm believer in, if you want to rest, you need to keep different parts of your life separate. You kind of have them in boxes, and a big part of my life is what I'm doing today, and that box was basically this area. And I didn't want to put the YouTube stuff in there, because the YouTube stuff for me was something where it was my time off, and I didn't want to get the two stuck together. So that's why I never did much up here. I've never done Preston, I've never done Lancashire. I've not done Carnforth. I've not done any of the surrounding areas, Garstang, Preston, Skipton. But they're all going to get done because I've crushed that box and thrown it away now. So that opens up this whole area now for being what I want it to be, which is a beautiful place to visit without any stress. Right, just passing C&M Motors, which is Garstang. Going up now to Lancaster University. Car behind me, but he's well behind me. They are well behind me. Yeah. Again, these trees here seem a lot barer. That's because to my left and to my right, they're kind of raised up on a very flat piece of land. So imagine the wind has blown them off. When you get to the woodland bits, like these bits ahead, Lancaster University on the far left, the other trees protect the trees, so there should be more leaves on these. Jesus Christ, how fast are you going? I'm doing 70. Oh, here we go. That's who we're racing. They had to slow down then though because there was a lorry overtaking a lorry. And then the car's overtaking the lorry. We're not doing 150 miles an hour. I forgot what I was saying then. But yeah, there was definitely more leaves on them trees. But again, it's very exposed here. You can't see it. Far left, I can see the sea. And it's about 4 miles away, so the wind and everything, you can, even when it's summertime, you can feel the car being blown by the wind here because it's quite open, and the hills only start to the left of where to the right of where the motorway is. To the left, it literally is very flat all the way to the sea. And that's Heysham there with the nuclear power station. So 70 miles an hour, going past this camper van, and we come around the corner here. There's some new houses that are built on the far left, then you've got Lancaster Prison, and then we come into Lancaster itself. Again, I don't think you'll see it, but on the far left is the tower in the park, which is a lovely park, and this Victorian Folly tower thing, which I have climbed up actually. Many years ago when we were doing a promotion thing in the park. Me and one of the lads climbed up to the top of the tower. Now you can't see, so I'm very far left. You might see when I'm coming back because it's lit up as well. Then just come around this corner. There's some new houses to my very far left, but you should see the new houses as we come around this corner here, which are built in fields and things. And again, this is a new junction. It's not new, but they've completely widened it and made it a lot bigger, and they've put a new road in that takes you practically to Morecambe. Well, that car's been behind me forever, but now he's got past. The new houses there on the far left, they've been built over the last 3 or 4 years. To the far left again is Lancaster Prison, and then you've got the junction for Lancaster and Morecambe, which we will ignore because we're going to junction 36. big new bridge you can just see in the distance on the far left behind the signs. That was built probably about 5 or 6 years ago now. And they still haven't paid to the underside of it. The junction itself is huge now. So bridge on the far left, which you won't see next. Oh, hang on a minute, what's going on here? Going over the River Loon. There's a bridge on the far left, the new bridge. As we go all the way across. Now the motorway used to come on before that bridge we've just gone over, our bridge. And then they decided, look at this bridge here ahead, you'll see that the left hand side of it is newer than the bit that I'm driving under, and that's because that used to be a hill there, but they've now put the slip road in. So the slip road, that's why they built the new bridge, for this slip road, because the slip road was the other side of the bridge. So they had to widen that bridge, so they basically just built an extension on that bridge and stuck another pillar in there, and bingo, you got a 2-lane slip road. Not that anyone's using it at the minute. So we're now coming up to Carnforth. This is junction 35, and we're actually going to Truck Haven, which that sign says is 4 miles away. That's nice. Say much further and we would end up in Cumbria, which we're not allowed to do. So I'm pretty sure Cumbria is in tier 2, I think. I don't know, I get confused with all these blinking twos. Anyway, we're coming up to our signs now for the exit. Wind turbine ahead. That's been there probably a decade now. Doing 70. So we should. Yeah, we've still got half an hour yet. Half an hour, half a mile until we get to the signage. So this is where we come off. Way to on. Oh wow, that thing on the other side of the motorway, that's come on. That was a field full of rabbits not long ago. I don't know if you saw that or not. Mind you, the building that I've just passed on the left was a field full of rabbits as well, up to about 5 years ago. Right, so we're going to Truck Haven, so we'll come round the motorway this way. So we're heading towards Silverdale and Carnforth. So the motorway ends in half a mile. So it's 16:30, 10 degrees. It's the 25th of the 10th, 2020. 2 months till Christmas. Oh my God. Didn't even realise that. That big roundabout here. So Truckhaven is on the left. Tip on the right, but you can't turn right to go to the tip. You have to go around the roundabout and then drive in. But I don't want to go to the tip anyway. But I'm going around the roundabout, but I'm going left here. Right, where do we go? Cars only. Okay. How do you get out of here? Right. I don't know how to get out of here, but I think this will do anyway. So there you go. I need to let my mate know that I'm here. So thank you for watching, if indeed you still are. And I will see you all again fairly soon, all being well. Take care. Bye.